What is going on, guys? A very unfortunate problem or obstacle a total gym faces in the eyes of the general public is that they simply don't understand how traditional modes of resistance training exercises, such as using dumbbells, resistance bands, free weights, barbells, is really equivalent to the stimulus and type of exercise you guys would find on a total gym. Now, aside from comments that say I'm wasting my time, which I've addressed in many videos and even made a specific video discussing, another tag along comment that often follows is, why don't you just simply use a barbell or dumbbell versus using these sliding bench trainers? And whenever I hear that, I'm often thinking,
you just don't get it, do you? You don't.
But I certainly do sympathize with it and understand where they're coming from. I probably had these sense of false beliefs that somehow the movements performed on these types of machines, or even the resistance given off, is somehow different than exercises that we're used to seeing in the gym or even in our home gyms. So in this video, I'm gonna tackle the question that a total gym or sliding bench trainer really is no different to other traditional modes of exercises. And I'd even argue, at least for me personally, it's often more times superior compared to those other modes by themselves. And not only in the home gym, but also for what you traditionally find in the gym. And something I'll repeat now, which I say very often, is if you gave me a fully decked out multi-million-dollar square foot facility with all the bells and whistles, and there was a total gym or a sliding bench trainer sitting in that gym, 9 times out of 10, I'd still be gravitating and doing most of my workouts on that piece of equipment. And even among people who pay for one-on-one consultations, or even people I'm sharing the information with on the street about a total gym, this is one of the biggest obstacles I essentially have to sell to them, that really what you're doing in the gym is no different to what you can do on a total gym. Because I'm often spending a great deal amount of time that's showing them that yes, you can build your body and muscle with equipment just using this machine, just in the same way that you could build your body with equipment such as a dumbbells or a squat rack. So as I get into this, guys, if you guys like this information, as always, please consider liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, consider that YouTube join button down below. Or like I said, if you're one of those people out there who wants one-on-one education, one-on-one training, go to slidingbenchtrainer.com to get more details on that. First kind of area I want to get into is just considering all the different movements that can be replicated based on the general movement of your limbs. I'll start by just saying and pointing out the obvious, because generally that can be the best education for most people. When you consider all the different movements of, say, your shoulder, your elbows, your knees, your hips, your legs, whatever, etc., and you think about all the different things you guys can do with it, we understand that with resistance training, all we're essentially doing is working those range of motions or movements through resistance and progressive exercises. So I'm not gonna go over every minute little joint motion that your body can perform, because odds are you guys know the basic movements you guys see in the gym. And I always kind of pose this question to anyone who's kind of doubtful that any exercise you guys can think of or movement that can be performed on a total gym, you not only can replicate it, but compared to other forms of resistance training like dumbbells, free weights, resistance bands, traditional stuff you guys found in your home gyms, you can work these movements with more variety, efficiency, oftentimes incorporating more stabilizer and balance type muscles. And generally, in my opinion, it's just a more fun type of exercise. But probably most importantly, and maybe practically in the back of most people's minds, you can adequately really progress these exercises and movements, again, probably more so than compared to those other traditional forms of resistance training. Because those other things I talked about as far as variety, fun, and efficiency with this equipment, I've tackled that ad nauseum on this channel. I'll continue to do so, but I really want to focus on that idea of progressions, or somehow this myth that somehow the total gym or a sliding bench trainer is limiting in the amount of weight or stress you guys can be applied to your body. And just one little side note with regards to exercises, if you guys really want to have a lot of fun and consider all those different movements that I just pointed out, give yourself a list of all the different exercises that you guys can do with various limbs using just dumbbells, just barbells, just resistance bands, and then compare to what is possible and what you can do on a total gym. Now, odds are many of you guys aren't familiar with a lot of these exercises and what you can do. That's kind of one of the benefits of watching this channel. But I've also tried to make it a sort of a mission here to show you guys, when you compare all those different modes of exercises head to head to a total gym, the total gym will win out across the board with variety of exercises and ways to stress the muscles. But then again, the argument might be, well, okay, sure, there's a bunch of different variety and things you can do in the machine, but maybe most of the exercise might be kind of weird or nuanced. In my opinion, there's not. There's a lot of great staple foundational movements you guys can do compared to those other forms. But then people will throw back at me and say, well, you can't add external weight, you can't external resistance or intensity, and therefore you can't progressively increase resistance so that you can adequately build muscle. To which I would say you most certainly can. Not only can you add resistance, you can change the feel of resistance from adding various band tension, weight tension, band and weight tension, various positions and incline settings, add the length of the machine. There's a huge endless array of ways to add progressive resistance that by and large far surpasses really any piece of equipment. Because what other piece in the gym and the equipment can you really not only add different types of resistance and feel from band tension to weight tension, but also various incline settings and positional settings that really adequately creatively stress your muscles. You can also add different length and line of action type settings that also further stimulates and mixes things up. And not even to mention, compared to barbells and free weights and resistance bands, you actually can manipulate various grip attachments, which further increases the variety of stimulus you might get from various exercises. While I definitely tend to add a little more volume, do a little more higher repetitions, maybe lower intensity, you guys have seen many times this channel, and I can easily give anybody a 5 rep max across the board in any movement or exercise or body part. It's just a matter of adding external resistance and mixing up the angles with each exercise. So when someone watches me do, say, a bicep curl exercise and they're seeing me get into kind of weird positions and they say some sort of comment like, why are you even wasting your time doing that? Why don't you just do a basic bicep curl and call it a day? And aside from the fact that that argument really doesn't hold any merit, because you can walk into anyone in any type of gym doing any exercise and say, why are you doing that particular chest machine versus a bench press? Besides that point, the main reason is because I definitely just find it's a far superior way to hit my biceps. I find I can better fine tune, get better, greater stimulation, and generally, again, it's just a more fun exercise. That the better question is, why would I even consider using a dumbbell when I have something much better at my disposal? Now, to kind of play devil's advocate and push back a little bit, some of the exercises and ways you can manipulate stress on the machine might be limited to your own ability and skill on the machine, and that'll definitely come with some time and comfort the more you guys use it. But that's what's really cool about this machine, is that the better and more used to you are to the machine, the more it rewards you by opening up more exercises to your disposal, which again further increases adherence and keeps making things a little more interesting. And all you're starting to do is gather this long list and pile a variety of exercises you can kind of keep coming back to and cycling through to keep exercise more versatile and more interesting. But that's just me, guys. Certainly could just be my own opinion and what I kind of prefer in my mode of resistance training, but love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Based on what I hear from various comments, people that start giving this thing the Total Gym Pepsi Challenge always far and wide come back and saying they're so happy they made this switch, and compared to what they were doing traditionally, especially in their home gym, it's just a far superior mode of resistance training in my humble opinion. Of course, you can use all different modes and combine it together for just more versatility and more exercises that you guys can use. But again, love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Everything featured in this video can be found down below in the description box if you guys want to help support me and the channel. See you guys on the next video. Thank you.